All right, joining me now live from the Western Wall in Jerusalem, Israel time tonight. What is it, about 6:33 over there? We'll see what we got going on, what time. I see if I'm keeping up with the time right. Aaron, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for being with us.
Hi, good to be with you.
Is it about 6:33 over there right now at night?
It's about 9:33.
9:33. Wow, I'm off. All right, great. All right, well, thank you for being with us. Tell us what's going on. I saw it a while ago. I could see in one of the monitors that they had from the control room a large crowd. What is that large crowd at the Western Wall tonight?
Well, firstly, it's great to be here at the Western Wall, and I want to say a special Hag Sameach, which is a happy holiday celebration, because we're celebrating the 76th anniversary of our independence. Today is our 4th of July, our Independence Day, and that's what I'm doing here at the Western Wall, which is behind me, one of the most holiest sites in the world for Judaism. And if there are any Israelis listening, I want to say Shalom Lachem miYerushalayim, Hag Sameach, v'Yom Ha'atzmaut Sameach. Sadly, a lot of the crowd have dispersed, but there are still few. Let me turn my camera around. There's still a few people around. Here's some people praying at the wall. We've had a lot of prayers. Rabbis were praying. And then over here, we've got a young group, people singing, dancing. Of course, I'm in the men's section where I am. Over the other side, I'll take you over. We'll have a look at the ladies section. But these people are here to celebrate after 76 years of war after war, after struggle. Here we are in Jerusalem. We're celebrating our independence. And this year is a very, very special occasion because it's in the middle of a war, Brannon. We are fighting for our survival like we did 76 years ago when David Ben-Gurion declared independence. The day after 8 Muslim nations attacked us, we were fighting for our survival. But 76 years later, we are strong. We are in the midst of a war, but we are celebrating our independence. And there you can see a group of young guys. There's a few more celebrating our Independence Day. These guys are happy, young Jewish people, singing songs of psalms and just enjoying the occasion. And we need this, Brannon. We need, we've had 7 months of suffering, pain, trauma. Now it's a cathartic time that we can get out some of the built up pain and celebrate for a change. So that's what you're seeing right in front of you.
Yeah, and for the listening friends on the BCY network, you all are very familiar with the Western Wall, what it looks like. And of course, what we're seeing are Jewish gentlemen that are dancing in a circle, maybe like you would see if you watched Fiddler on the Roof or some of the other, or went to a play of Fiddler on the Roof, and they are doing the traditional Jewish dance and celebrating. They're very happy. They seem to be very happy that we're on camera.
Brandon, I'm going to try and get in the middle.
They seem to realize we're doing a live report.
I'm going to try and get in the middle here.
Aaron, for those listening, is in the middle of the circle now as the Jewish guys are dancing around him in a circle, celebrating the 76th anniversary of the birth of April, May of 1948. Absolutely a remarkable footage, folks. And to think that the technology is such that we can do this now. It absolutely is amazing. The eyes of the world are on Israel, whether it's their sorrow or their rejoicing. We here in America and around the world, Aaron, have really lived up and down the emotions with your nation. Here we are right now, a very jubilant celebration you were just in the middle of as you're now walking away. And I was saying to the audience, we've been on an emotional roller coaster with your nation here in America and around the world. We've watched the horrors of October 7th, which grieved us, and so many of us shed tears and have over that, beyond something even almost humanly to understand. Then we have great celebrations like tonight, celebrating on the Temple Mount, your 76th anniversary. The emotional roller coaster in itself is exhausting, is it not, Aaron?
It is, Brannon. And firstly, I want to say thank you for standing with us. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for the prayers, the letters, the encouragement. We know that there are some people who are not standing with us like we would appreciate more, but we know that the people are very supportive of us, and it is very emotional. Let me turn my camera around. I'm standing now above the ladies, the women's section, because the Western Wall is segregated. I'm looking down here are the girls with the Israeli flags in a circle, singing songs of psalms, of praise, giving us a wave. Shalom, shalom. And it's great that this young generation, they are the ones, they are the future. They are the ones that are going to carry the flag.
I noticed they love to wave at the camera. So I am assuming that if you're up on the Temple Mount and you're broadcasting, they wave very happily, like they know we're supporters. How is it they know that we are friendly to their cause? There's more waving at us. How do they know we're friendly to their cause, Aaron?
Well, I think I'm standing here. I've got a smile on my face. I've got a yarmulke on my head. They know that I'm on their side. They know that I'm with them. And just in general, Brannon, the Israeli people, the Jewish people, they're friendly people. We're not looking for enemies. We're not causing trouble. We want to live. We're a democracy here. We live and let live. So the Jewish people, they're friendly people. Look, does this people look like there are people that are wanting to go out and commit genocide? No. There are people that love their God, that love their land. They want to live a free. We were singing our national anthem, the Hatikvah, which says that one day we will live free in the land of Zion and Jerusalem. And that's what we're doing right now. Hey, shalom, shalom. There's a girl I know. Yeah.
And of course, we're also getting reports tonight. Hezbollah unveils new heavy rocket in attacks on Israel. That is an article from just the other day. So even in the midst of your celebration, you guys have had a new heavy rocket. Tell me about that. What do you know? It says Terragu launches new rocket at Israel's Mount Dov, named after, I can't say the name, son of senior Hezbollah figure, both eliminated in Israeli-linked attacks. So what do you know about this new heavy rocket, Aaron?
Yeah, so the leader of Hezbollah, Nasser Nasrallah, he threatened us. He said we are the Iranian president actually today said he has given Hezbollah the green light to go ahead and attack Israel. So our home front command have warned us, especially during festival season, to be on alert. Now tonight our celebration started after a very sobering day, because today was our Memorial Day, our fallen soldiers day, where we stood for silence, listening to the siren and commemorating the thousands of people that have lost their lives. But they also said, when the celebration for our Independence Day starts, we have to be on very, very high alert. Now, let me just take you back to the girls, because they're really starting to get warmed up here. They're singing, "May the people of Israel live." Hang on, they're gonna get going in a second. And so, we're not going to stop celebrating, Brannon, I can tell you that. But at the same time, here we go. They are singing, "The people of Israel live."
Wow. Let me go to another article real quick here. These are all at worldviewreport.com, folks, worldviewreport.com. Here is one related to your country. Let's see. Here is a Miami imam. In Miami, there's an imam, and we have the video, quote, "Oh, Allah, annihilate the Jews, the brothers of apes and pigs," end quote. Here we were just talking about hate crime legislation in Canada that many believe is the template for what's coming to many Western societies. And yet, where is the media talking about this? We can speak truth about Islam, yet we're called hateful. And here is a Miami imam speaking about this in Florida. Aaron?
Yeah, this is what, isn't it interesting October the 7th, we thought that this was all about Israel, all about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, but we are learning a lot more that it's not. It's more, it's bigger. It's about not only people living under tunnels, under the ground here, but all around the world. Carousels, Islamic Jihad, people that want to wipe out Western and democratic societies. And so a lot of it is being exposed and coming out. And that's a great example that you just gave, sadly. So may this, about 15 minutes ago, while I was standing waiting, the rabbi and about a dozen people blew the shofar. They blew the ram's horn, and that is a reminder that we need to wake up and be on alert.
Indeed, we do. And here's another article we'll talk about when we come back with Aaron. The betrayal of Israel by the U.S. administration is almost complete. The betrayal of Israel by the U.S. administration is almost complete. We'll get Aaron's comment. We'll open the phone lines for you. 1-800-347-9829. Your thoughts, your comments, your questions. 1-800-347-9829. We'll be right back.
A lot of people are having great success with a weight management program with Bella Trim, but it's just a tool. In terms of ingredients, Chromex or chromium picolinate improves the actions of insulin, so you have better glucose management, and in addition, it promotes fat utilization. Fat utilization or fat burning is also a feature of metabolite, which are two botanicals that stimulate a switch called AMP kinase, and so you tend to burn fat, reduce belly fat or visceral fat. Who doesn't want that? Metabolite has the ability to stimulate satiety or reduce those cravings. That's really very, very important. And it does that by raising GLP-1 levels. In addition, we've addressed the microbiome by using prebiotics. Healthier microbiome, better weight management.
Welcome back. Glad you are with us. We have some very concerning news related to America, and that is something we have hinted at here, but someone else has come up with a very interesting thought. I have been warning that I am concerned about United Nations troops coming into the U.S., UN troops coming into the United States of America with all this chaos, that would be the goal. Well, someone has now, Jim Ferguson has tweeted out of the UK, a businessman in the UK, is pretty prominent over there. In fact, his X account says he's a former parliament candidate for the parliament with the Brexit party. He's a businessman, an entrepreneur, and he is saying the mass numbers of illegal migrants that are pouring into our respective countries are in fact UN soldiers. Now, this is very interesting because I've been saying I'm concerned about this catastrophe they're manufacturing in America. Then they use the WHO to suspend our sovereignty and bring in the UN. Well, maybe the UN is already here. So our thinking has been correct. But the thought that they would officially enter somehow in the future may be where we've gotten it wrong. They may already be here, he says. Quote, these are UN soldiers, and they will be deployed by the World Health Organization when they announce the next pandemic lockdown, end quote. The Black Watch, a Scottish infantry regiment based in Perth, Scotland, has been instructed to train illegal migrants to carry out crowd control and other measures to force compliance within the British population in the event of a civil uprising by the population against the government. There are bird flu, avian influenza, H5N1 vaccines being flown into the UK right now, ready to be used on the British public. UK businessman John O'Looney raises the alarm and says he has conclusive evidence that these UN soldiers are being trained by British forces who are being ordered to do so by globalists infesting the British government. John has stated he has surveillance and video evidence of what is going on, along with detailed vehicle and registration numbers of the vehicles that are in use. The details that are emerging suggest that British forces will be sent abroad to fight Russia in Ukraine, that will effectively leave no patriotic soldiers within Britain to protect the British population, and that illegal migrants will be issued uniforms and given powers by the globalists to police, control, and order the British people to stay at home, and will have the powers to get physical and arrest anyone who does not comply. Now, again, that fits with what we've been saying as well. It being that we are concerned that these illegals will be used to be thugs, but instead, and that they would have arresting powers, as is the legislation in Illinois, to allow illegals to be cops that carry a gun and a badge. Remember us talking about that? Well, this is taking it to a whole nother level, folks. But we have also talked about what? Sending all the patriotic young men out of America and leaving us vulnerable. Remember us talking about that? Now he's adding another twist to it. All of these American patriotic men are men out of the Great Britain, out of their country, and then the UN soldiers made up and assisted by all the illegals. Very, very troubling. Aaron from Israel at the Western Wall joins us. Can you respond to the betrayal of Israel by U.S. administration? It's almost complete. That's over at the Gatestone tonight. What are your thoughts of this?
Yeah, I don't know too much about it, Brannon, except to say something is pretty wrong at the grassroots level. Something smells and seems very wrong right from the core. I'm not really in the place where I want to point the finger. I don't think that's my place. But we're certainly feeling it here by some of the decisions that the administration have been making lately. I'm sure you know, and the viewers know what I've been talking about. But we're believing that that's going to turn around. And there's going to be backlash as a result of that. In fact, from what we're hearing, there is a little bit of backlash and pressure, actually a lot of backlash and pressure on President Biden for that. But like I said, I don't really feel comfortable pointing the finger at your administration.
Don't feel bad about that. Don't feel bad. Yeah, don't feel bad about that. Let's go to Faith in Pennsylvania about Israel. Faith, line 2. Thanks for calling in. Faith, you're on with Brannon and Aaron, who's live on the Temple Mount tonight. Faith.
Oh, hello. Where do I start? I know that the protocols have been debunked, and I mean I'm covering ground in way distant past. But how do you respond to the current rhetoric that is anti-Israel by Christians, so-called? Like the formation. One
way I think we respond to this is with accurate history. Most Americans are completely ignorant about the formation of Israel, as you were saying there, Faith. They don't understand what replacement theology is. They have simply been brainwashed and propagandized by many, many so-called pastors, by the media. So I think the truth is what we need to do, which is what this broadcast is about. Would you like to respond to that, Aaron? How do we overcome all of this?
Yeah, I think you touched on it, the truth. Educating the church, educating people where there's ignorance. People come out with their own point of view. It's like when the Lord said, "Who do men say that I am?" And some people were saying this. Some people were saying that. Man's view versus God's view, sometimes they're two different worlds apart. So I think education is a big, big key, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Indeed it is. Let's go to Brad, line 4. Brad, thanks for calling in, Brad. Go right ahead, Brad.
Hey, Brannon. I pray that Jesus finds it in his will, or we find it in his will, that he will smite this U.S. administration. It's a fake administration. It's a ridiculous operation. That's all I can get into right now. But it was good to see those Israelites dancing around by the Temple Mount and see Aaron there with that big grin on his face. It was good to see. And as for the Hebrews who think Israelites are the brothers of monkeys and pigs, the Israelites are not brothers of Islam. So they can't be the mothers of monkeys and pigs. I don't care who that offends.
Aaron, closing comment before we go. The music's playing.
Well, all I want to do is I want to show you behind me, there is a 7-branch menorah, gold-plated menorah. That will be the menorah that it will be in the temple when the temple is rebuilt. Obviously, we don't have time to go into it tonight, but it's been great to be with you, Brannon, and to the viewers.
Well, hold right there. Hold right there, Aaron. Hold right there. Thank you, Aaron. Hold right there, Aaron. I'll talk to you offline. Wow. Stay tuned for Crosstalk with Jim Schneider, folks. Take care.
This has been Worldview.
All right, let's go back to Aaron real quick. Aaron, go back through what you were just saying. That menorah back there is the menorah that will be in the rebuilt third temple?
Correct, Brannon. What I'll do is I'm walking backwards so that you can see it. There's loud music behind me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Okay, so behind me there, you can see it's a 7-branch menorah. It is made based on ancient texts, ancient sources, the Bible included, and the treasures of the temple. They built that. It's not pure gold. It has about 100 pounds of gold plating, and it's meted out based on Exodus 25, where the Lord said to Moses, mete out a 7-branch candelabrum, 3 branches on each side, with almonds and with flowers, and that is the menorah that is waiting to go in the temple when the temple is rebuilt. Now, when I was reporting before, I actually wasn't exactly on the Temple Mount because this hour of the night it's closed, but I was just below it at the Western Wall. And for those viewers who have just joined in, we are celebrating our 76th anniversary of our Independence Day. This is our 4th of July. Tomorrow during the day, there will be airplanes flying all through the skies, especially here in our capital, Jerusalem. But this is the time that we've got to celebrate. We have been 7 months in trauma, in distress, with our backs against the wall, burying our brothers and sisters, our sons and daughters. Now is the time that we must celebrate our independence. But also, while we're doing that, we mustn't forget our captives, the hostages that are still in Gaza Strip, if they're still alive, and our soldiers fighting for our survival, just like they did on May 14th in 1948.
Wow. Tell me where, do you know where in the temple that menorah will go? And by the way, it looks like it's as tall as you are, is it?
Probably because of where I'm standing. So, number one, let me turn my camera around. There's a lot of people dancing. So, according to the first temple and the second temple, the menorah was in an area called the Holy Place. Not the outer court, not the Holy of Holies, but the Holy Place. The menorah gave light so that the priest could see at nighttime. It was also a reminder that our call is to be a light to the nations. But here's something else. In the book of Revelation, John uses the menorah as a symbol for the church. And he talks about the lampstand. He talks about the light. And he talks about how we need to keep our first love, lest he will take away the lampstand and that we will no longer be effective witnesses. So I think of all those things from the scriptures when I look at that menorah and think of the menorah. There we are behind it, everyone. Dancing. I'm going to go over in the middle. I don't know if you can hear me. Here are a group of people dancing. Now, these are just the men. The men and the women don't integrate. They're very segregated. And here they are dancing.
Look at that, folks. So obviously this is a national holiday. I mean, all schools are closed, all businesses are closed, correct?
And it comes at the end of today. Today actually began with our fallen soldiers day, where we remember all the way from 1948, all the wars that we've been in, the 1956 war, the 1967 war, the 1973 Yom Kippur War, the 1982 Lebanon War, war after war after war. Our soldiers, our people that have died, and on top of that, since Yasser Arafat and the PLO came into power, all the terror attacks, the buses that have been blown up. We also commemorate them. We stand for a moment of silence. Here are our people dancing to the Lord, singing psalms, carrying our flag. The people of Israel live. Amen. Amen. And it's a time of great celebration.
Wow.
There's the rabbi leading them at the front, dancing the street in Jerusalem. And young children as well with their parents, mothers. And here, over here is the area where there are the girls, the young people with Star of David, flags, and flags lit up, enjoying themselves. It's so good to see people enjoying and celebrating.
Indeed. What a report. Thank you so much for the honor, Aaron. Aaron, remember, is coming to the U.S. for about 8 weeks in July and August. Go to his website. Contact him if you want to book him to speak for your group. LightToTheNationsMinistry.com. LightToTheNationsMinistry.org or .com. Which one, Aaron?
.com.
LightToTheNationsMinistry.com. Thank you, Aaron. Folks, remember, we help support him as well, so please support us. WVWFoundation.com. Talk to you tonight at 7 o'clock. Roll Report and then Brannon Howse Live. Take care.